All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Inside Texas with Mitch and Jeff. That's Mitch Thames over there on location somewhere in the United States. I think he's in Washington, D.C. He's getting ready to run for president or vice president. I think Trump asked him to be the vice president. I think.
I'm not supposed to say.
Okay, no comment. Okay, that means no comment. I'm going to write that one down. No comment.
No comment.
No comment. Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of harem does the Donald Trump run with?
No comment.
No comment on that one either. Okay. Joe Biden, tall or small? Which one? I don't know.
Take a look at the hand.
Look at the hand. Yeah, look at the hand. Hi, man. It's one of those weeks again. I'm gonna before we start, we have a lot to talk about.
Yes.
Our government's screwing up. ICE is screwing up. We got folks coming down from Austin to Bay City. We have I don't know. We just have a lot of stuff going on. But I'm going to say something here first. If Mitch, give me the minute or two. Past couple of weeks I've been quiet about this. I haven't said anything. I'm going to ask you a question, Mitch. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. What are you starting to dislike more as you get older? What are you starting to dislike more as you get older?
I would say those individuals that won't do their own homework, they want somebody else to do it for them. And I'll give you a prime example about the press release I wrote for the flooding. And I poured time and effort and wrote it and rewrote it just to make sure that the message got out. And when I posted it, the very next comment was, "What does this say? What does this? Read it." But no, you're going to go on social media and ask somebody else that has no knowledge what I just posted. And that is what I'm losing patience over, is individuals that aren't able to read and comprehend what's going on around them.
Or them complaining about they're not being informed.
Yeah, well,
even though they are.
True. That's true too.
Yeah. And there's 22 million ways to get information, especially for this county.
And Jeff, that's part of the problem. There's 22 million ways, right, and you can't put information out 22,000 different ways.
No,
I mean, maybe with AI in a couple of years, but right now we just don't have that capacity.
There is that question that I asked you is on Facebook right now.
Okay,
and it's under it's under adult something, whatever it is. Okay. What is the question again? And I'm gonna say, what are you starting to dislike more as you get older? Well, I am getting older.
No,
right at 60. Yeah, unbelievable.
Oh.
I'm getting older. And I looked at the answers, and 99% of them, 99% of the answer is a one-word answer.
Yeah,
and it's people.
People. Okay.
99%. There are 524 this thing came out at 3:00 this afternoon. This question, and it's people, and I 100% agree, and I'm going to tell you why.
Tell me, enlighten me, Jeff.
This entitlement BS is for these Karens, entitlement people that think that you owe them something, and I don't even know who the hell you are, but you owe me this, and I gotta have this, and you said we were going to have this sometime, and it's not here yet. And where is it? And we need to have this. And I don't know why you're not working on it, and what you're doing or whatever. Guess what? I'm going to use this as an example. Here's one example. And people get pissed off at me. I don't care. We have a swimming pool. We have 2 swimming pools here in Bay City, correct?
Yeah,
2.
Correct.
Right. Okay. One of them's working. One of them's not. What
Correct.
the hell? Who cares if the swimming pool's working or not? If you want to swim that bad, put a pool in your backyard. Buy a pool and put it in your backyard. That way you can have the privacy. You don't have to worry about going out. You have to, just because it's here, it can go away tomorrow. Then who are you going to blame? Oh, that's entitlement. We're supposed to have a pool in this town. No, we're not. There's no law that says we need to have a pool in this town. There's no one that says we have to have a pool in this town or we're going to have to close the town down. No, that's just one. That's one thing. One. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're supposed to have the water park. Water park's supposed to be built for us. No, you moved here. There was no water park. Okay. If you moved to this area and there's no water park,
right?
Who are you going to blame for that? Well, I blame all the money going to the taxpayers spending all this money. Not for a water park. There's no money there for a water park. Nobody's getting taxed on the water park.
Right.
Nothing. All right. Well, you know what, Mitch? We need to have more department stores in here and this and that. If you act like an ass, you're not going to get them here. It's not going to happen. Okay. If you don't spend the money with the people that are already here, because those companies don't go, well, this looks like a nice place to open a place. No. They want to see the revenue that's brought into the area. They want to see asses and houses. They want to see how the other businesses are doing. Believe me, they look at every business to see what their income is, their revenue, their P&L statements, everything. They look at everything, okay? Now you're going to say, Jeff, why don't you just shut the hell up? No, I'm not going to shut up, and here's the reason why. The education that I have in 5 cents will get me a cup of coffee. Went to college, learned all this crap, all right? And you know, people come up to me, and I try to be nice. You try to be nice to them. I had a guy, this is the first time in 47 years that I've been doing the lawn, this on and off with the L&J small engine, where you have people bring in stuff, you fix it and go, well, I didn't want to spend $60 to get it fixed. You didn't call me and tell me that it was going to cost $100 to fix 5 pieces of equipment. Are you out of your freaking mind? Yeah. If you're bringing something to somewhere to get fixed, if I go take my computer to the computer shop, either A, it can be fixed, or B, it can't be fixed.
Right.
You want an estimate on what it's going to cost, so that's going to cost my time, correct?
Right.
That's my time.
That's your
but
time.
You don't want to pay me for that time. Who's entitled you to tell me that I have to take my own time to look at your crap to tell me that no, I'm not going to pay you for looking at it?
Yeah.
No. This is where the United States is going off the rail. The people, excuse me, in this country are getting everything handed to them. They're acting like a bunch of spoiled brats. Okay, you're acting like a bunch of spoiled brats.
That's what they are these days, Jeff.
60% of you people out there, I can understand now why old people get pissed. I'm getting old. I'm looking at the future for my kids and for my family and for my grandkids.
Right.
And I hope when my granddaughter gets older, she doesn't have to live this mess we live in today. I hope that I taught my kids to go out and work for what they got.
Yep.
Nothing is handed to them.
Yes.
My son's 20 and has a great job, has a daughter, and he's 20. You know, yes, a little young to have kid, but I tell you what, he's out there busting his butt, making $47 to $50 an hour. 20, has his own apartment, making payments on the truck, taking care of his girlfriend. They're getting ready to get married, whatever. Taking care of his daughter, comes and helps me, and does what he needs to do. That's the kid that I raised.
Right.
I didn't raise a kid to go, well, you know what? I don't feel like working. Somebody owes me something.
Right. Yeah.
Or I, you know what? I'm going to go and bitch and moan because we don't have this store here in this town, and I got to drive all the way over that. You moved here without it.
Yep.
You moved in this county or this town without that store being here. And yet you got people out there like Jessica and all those that are working very hard to satisfy the complainers that are out there say, we need this, 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 we need, but it's not fast enough. It's not fast enough. We're not growing fast enough. We're not making enough money. Well, how comes we're not making enough money? Well, because our government keeps on taking, but they ain't giving back to the little towns and the little communities that are pushing to work for it.
Right.
Would you vote for somebody that couldn't control a border or can't control the borders of our own country or protect us? No.
You know, I know the economy is going to be on everybody's mind, but it needs to be our safety and security.
It does. That is the first thing, most than anything, the safety and security where we live.
Yes.
How can we do anything else? How can we look inward and work on the things that we need to do when we have to look outward at the government that we depend on? And we pay.
Trusted, Jeff. We trusted them to do it.
Well, you know what? I don't trust a damn one of them anymore. Not one. Not one.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, one or two of the good ones that are in there are pissed off and they leave or they don't run again, and they're just tired of being bullied and manhandled. And it's ridiculous. Right. It's ridiculous. So what I'm trying to tell you people is nobody owes you nothing. Nothing. They don't owe you nothing. And if you think you're going to sit there and get a handout, or you think you're going to sit there and get something for free,
right?
You're on the wrong bus, baby. You need to go. You know what? I think we're looking at Mars right now.
Put a colony on Mars.
Put a colony on Mars for the complainers and the whiners and the moaners. You can run your own country up there in Mars.
Jeff, but I think, wasn't it Thomas Jefferson that said, when the public realizes they can elect somebody to empty the storehouse, we're in trouble.
Yes.
In other words, you've got a savings, and when you can elect somebody that's going to just give you money, it's just like Harris County wanting to give $500, no strings attached. You don't have to pay your bills with it. You don't have to. Just here's 500 free dollars. And everybody knows it's just to buy votes, because if you're giving me $500, I don't want you to ever get unelected. I want you in there forever.
Right. Exactly right. The other thing is too, well, how many people live in this country? What is it? 90? How many in this country? The United States is what?
300 million? I don't know.
Yeah, it's like 300 or 400 million people.
Yeah.
We got 2 clowns running for president out of 900 million people. Well, or 400 million? 2. I'm sorry. They're both 2 clowns. Here, it's people are afraid to step up and really.
Jeff, it's because you get shot at.
You get shot at, you get shot down, you get put down, and then you're dealing with the entitlement people. So here it goes in a big circle. I get it. I understand. Right now, everybody's doing everything to be told. I want to identify as a dog. Okay, all right. You're a dog now. Okay, you want puppy chow or dog chow or what do you want to say? So we're
that woke community.
The woke community is got to go. It's gonna go away. It's got to, because it's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's ridiculous, and I don't care. You want to come here and hate on me? I don't care. But it's ridiculous, and this is not the country. This is not the country that the guys in World War I, World War II, and all that fought for. They fought for our freedoms.
Right.
And yes, identifying as a dog is a freedom that you want to have. Good, but don't push your idiotic BS on me. I don't need to. I don't have to believe it. I don't have to. If I don't want to believe it, I'm not gonna. But
I don't have to agree that you're a dog. If you want to be a dog, go running around and bark.
Knock your socks off.
Yeah.
But don't push me and say, well, we have to have rights. No.
I have to pet you because you think you're a dog now? No.
Or I got to buy you dog bones, or now I got to pay a special tax because you need a place. No. Sorry. Nope.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, it has gotten extremely complicated. But I think I'm going to just say it, and I'm the conspiracy theorist. I admit it. I think a lot of this is being financed and pushed, and people are being indoctrinated that eventually we'll get so stupid we won't be able to defend ourselves if China or Russia or North Korea ever invades us. We will be such marshmallows. We won't have we'll just roll over and then complain to them.
Whatever happened to we the people?
Yeah, I don't know.
We the people. And that meant
we
lost it. We lost. We didn't even, there was a war. We lost it. And now we're dealing with it. And a lot of people, it's like one of those deals. It's a war that was going on, and we all sat back and said, hey, nothing's going to happen with that. And now all of a sudden it did. And I will also
tell you, there is I call them the loud and proud.
Yeah.
You got these crazies that do not mind attacking, do not mind screaming and hollering and acting a fool. And so those of us that don't want to act like that, we just kind of shun it, ignore it. But Yeah, I just think, and then I think we're indoctrinating our kids in schools to put up with that.
And you got to remember that all these clowns like that, they vote. They vote. They're voters. And people
They
are
do.
voting. And it's like, oh my God.
Maybe more than once.
Yeah, maybe more than once. Who knows? And the last thing that I want to say, and I'm sorry, I wanted to get off on that because I've been getting more entitled people coming into my business than I really want to deal with. So I'm going to make two doors. One person that wants repairs and the other one's going to say entitled. So I got two doors. Ones that are entitled, that door is going to stay closed. Just to let you know, the entitled door will always be closed. If you're entitled, you got to wait by that door. If you're not entitled and you want me to repair something for you and actually fix it for you without going, well, I don't want to spend more than 20 cents on it, go to the entitled door, okay? If you want something fixed and repaired right for a fair price, then you're going to come in the door that's open. Yeah. That's how that's going to work. Now, let me say one more thing.
Go ahead.
This is something that's really, really bothered. There are times that you will go to certain fast food industries here in this county, and you will get the absolute best service anywhere. And you think to yourself, why is this person working here? They're so good at what they're doing. You know, they should be doing something else, right? Well, then the next time you go there, there's somebody else at the window or working on you, and it's the service is terrible. You're getting the wrong order, the wrong things. The food is not good. We have to, our owners of restaurants, and I'm not saying the small individual mom and pop shops, because I know how hard they work in order just to get people to come in the door. I'm talking about our fast food industry, and I'm all of them, every single one of them. McDonald's, Burger King, Jack in the Box, not Applebee's, but the Chili's, Pizza Hut, all those. All you people that own those businesses, and I'm not talking about the managers, I'm talking about the owners.
Right.
None of your businesses are going to work on auto drive. It's not going to happen. Take a little bit more pride in what you have, because I'm going to start something soon that people are going to hate, and especially the business owners of these businesses. Yeah. You need to step up to the plate a little bit more. You need to step up to the plate.
Yeah.
You cannot tell me that if I walk into a business and the TVs are not working correctly, or they're out of color, and the waitress doesn't know how to do her job or how to work the register, or they go to the register and there's no change and there's no one there to get them change, and they don't know where the money's at, or the extra menus, or they give you menus that are ripped up or have food on them, or places that have bugs in them and things like this. The owner is responsible. As high up as it goes, that's who's responsible for this.
I got you.
I am tired of non-trained people and understanding how the business works. If you're working at a business, you need to know how that business operates. On both places, both restaurants that I had here, both over at Schulman's and over at the Bolero. Yeah. My wait staff, my managers, my bartenders knew they could do any job in that place. They could run the kitchen, they could run the bar. They needed to know how it operates in order and understand how customer service works. Because until you know those things, you can't go to the. I've had people come to me, I was a waitress. Where were you a waitress? Oh, dozens of places. Well, how come you were at dozens of places? Right. And just one place? Well, this guy had a bad attitude. I didn't get along with him. And that owner, I didn't like him. And this manager here, and there was two girls. I didn't like those girls. I said, did you ever think the problem might be you? And they would just look at you. Well, how can you say that? Oh, my God, I can't believe it. I said, exactly. I know now it's you.
Yeah.
You can't take a compliment. You can't take criticism. You think you know everything, and you don't. There's not one person in this town that I went through. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to be honest with you. All the guys that worked for me at Bolero are still in the food industry, and they're assistant managers and are higher ups now. Okay. Are working, running. I got one girl that was a waitress. She's running a store, her own store now.
Okay.
You got Jameson Bull, who's the manager, who was over at my place cooking. I taught him how to cook, taught him how to chef, taught him how to manage. Guess what he's managing? Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
All right. You got two other guys that were working for me are back over at Schulman's and still working and are the head of the kitchen now instead of on the fry, just the fry grill.
All right.
So, Jeff, you're such a mean, nasty guy. The way you taught these guys, and I'm sorry. Was I supposed to kiss their butt? No, they worked for me, and this is the way we needed to have things done. And I think there needs to be a standard set in the small businesses on how you treat and greet people. And yes, I know there's people out there that are, again, entitled, but there's also a way to handle those people, too, when they're in a line.
Yeah.
And I think Bay City needs to step up a little bit on the standards and operations of the way these owners act for these businesses. Take more pride in what you got. Don't slap a business in here and say, let it ride, Joe, and then walk away from it. No, it's not the way it should be. It's not the way it should be. We should be proud of the things that we have, and the owners of these businesses should be proud of where they're at and where they're making money.
I agree.
And if you can't go by a standard set of rules saying we want your business kept clean, we want it kept up to date, and we want your servers, your people that work for you to be informed on what they're doing. Those three things are the most important thing. And be consistent at what you do. Be consistent. We ain't got that. We don't have that. We have that at the mom and pop places that are running businesses, and a lot of them don't even know how to run a business, but they are consistent.
Yeah.
And they're helpful. But
right.
Then we get this back. Well, they're just kids. They're just learning this and that. Okay, teach them. Teach them. Don't throw them in a spot and say, okay, there's a job. Just, take that order over there and that's it. Yep. How to talk to people, how to react to people, No, they don't know this. They don't know this. They come from school where they're, hey, Bob, you suck. Into a business where they got to deal with real people and not kids all the time. And they don't know how to do it. And we need to take a different direction on how this gets handled, really. In Sugarland, and again, I talked to you about this before. In Sugarland and up around the Sawdust, Rayford area, which is, what is that called up there? That's the Woodlands. Up around the Woodlands. They have a standard set there. If your business does not operate under that city or that borough standards, they can toss you out. They can tell you, take your business and go someplace else.
Wow. Because
this is how we operate. It's not a competition between businesses. It's an upscaling to where it needs to be. And if you go anywhere, and you know this, Mitch, if you go down to Galveston, hey, the service is great. I mean, most places down there, the service is great. People are happy. They're jumping at you. They're doing what they need to do. Right. You go to Sugarland, you got that. You go up to north. Why can't it be that way here? I don't understand it. Why can't it be that way here? If we're a door that's open to Matagorda, where everybody spends, people are spending their money, why can't we grab that money? We can't, because people want to bypass. It's like, oh crap, Bay City food. We're jumping over this. We're going to eat before we get there. Let's go over to over there to eat first before we come through here, or let's go shopping here before we go over there. It doesn't need to be. It does not need to be. I'm sorry, I had to say it, but it doesn't need to be. And yes, I got criticized for how harsh I was on the people that were working for me, but they got it. They understood it. And if I opened up a place today, they'd all come back and work. Every single one of them. Jeff's an ass, but we learned a lot of stuff. We learned everything there is to know about a kitchen, how a restaurant and a business, and how to run it. What profit should be, what the losses should be, how much food should be thrown away, how much portion should be on the plate, what's the average time of a customer sitting there, what we need to do to keep them there longer. If somebody's walking into your business, it's our job to figure out how to get the money out of their pocket. And I always taught how to do that. Always. But people were offended by it. I would tell kids, hey, don't have your cell phone in your pocket while you're working. Put it so. Well, if my mom calls, then your mom can call later. Yeah. Or when you take a break. It doesn't need to be in your back pocket. I'm sorry. I didn't. If you and I had to put phones in our back pocket, we'd have to have big pockets back in the day, because those phones, cords, and all kinds. We didn't do it then. So I would tell them, hey, call here. We have a landline phone. Call here if it's an emergency. Yeah. But I need to keep my phone, because if my sister texts me, no, you're working. That's it. I don't care if it offends you or not. Either A, you want the job to make money, or B, you're going to do whatever you want. You're not going to work here. So that's where we're at. And that's where we're at anymore. People that feel entitled to do whatever they want, how they want, when they want, talk to you however they want, and demand things that are totally ridiculous and out of line. We gotten away from a social society to total craziness and chaos. And
crazy.
Why would anybody want to run for anything when they're looking at these people going, these people are nuts? Why would I want to run for president? Why would I want to run for Senate or any? Because these people are nuts.
Or mayor or city council, or I think a lot of people forget. These things aren't paying jobs. Now Congress is, but your state rep makes $7,200 a year.
Right.
It was funny because Mike O'Day's a good friend, and he showed me a lot of times his state payroll checks.
Right.
And by the time you took taxes and everything out, it might be $4. His paycheck was about $4.
That's nuts. That's crazy. If you want someone to do a job, and it doesn't, and this blends into exactly what we're going to talk about, this ICE thing that just happened.
Yeah.
No, we're losing it. There's too many broken laws, rules, regulations. Do this, don't do this, but this one you can, that one you can't. And these guys are bringing people in or letting people cross the border who don't need to be here.
Letting them in, Jeff. Let the two guys that murdered that little 12-year-old girl at midnight underneath that bridge in Houston, Texas.
Yep.
Less than 3 weeks ago, ICE apprehended them.
Right.
And let them go.
Right.
You can scream at Biden. You can scream at Marcus, the terrorism chair. You can scream. I'm screaming at those officers. I'm screaming at you. If you were the ICE agent that let those two guys go, shame on you. There's a 12-year-old girl that experienced unbelievable horror and unbelievable evil because of you. And I'm hating on you right now. I'm hating on ICE agents that have let these people, and it's just not the 12-year-old, it's the 13-year-old in New York. It's the mother of 5. I'm telling you right now, this silly ass open border crap, when we were letting these poor people in because all they want is a job, and all they want is to work hard, and all they want is a life, and we want them and we need them. Well, you also got Venezuela emptied their prisons, put them on the road north, and now all of those thugs, all of those gang members, all of those evil people, they didn't change. These two kids that killed this girl, they did that back home. I don't know. I can't give you a timeline, but I'm telling you, they didn't come across the United States and decide to be evil. They were evil before they got here. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely, and this isn't a political statement. The cat's out of the bag. I will tell you what I liken it to. When Katrina hit New Orleans and they opened the jails and I had a friend of mine, the police chief of Stafford, Texas, and he told me one time, he said, you don't have any idea what came across with all of the legitimate escapees, call them, all of the legitimate people that needed help that came into Texas. He said, what you don't realize is you don't understand the evil that came with them. Well, that's exactly what's going on. I don't know what it's going to take. I know Trump's out there screaming deportation. I don't know the answer, but I'm telling you, you have made every one of us unsafe because you have let criminals, you have let animals. I know Trump gets hit hard when he calls them animals. I'm going to call them animals. Those two people sitting in prison that killed that 12-year-old, I am not going to call them a person. I'm going to call them an animal. I am going to call them an animal. They're evil. And I'm telling you right now, this is ridiculous. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm going to tell you, there has been more times, and I wanted to ask a newscast after a murder, where did they come from? What is the country of origin? Did they come here illegally? Did they? So they broke the law when they claimed, here's two military-aged men, I guess strong enough and smart enough and evil enough to kill this little 12-year-old girl. And if I understand, had her underneath the bridge for over 2 hours. Had her underneath the bridge for 2 hours, if I understand the newscast right. And yet you let them in because they told you that they were scared to be in their country. You really let them in to seek asylum here because of fear in their country of Venezuela, and you believed it, and you gave them an ankle monitor, and you gave them a court date. You're an idiot. You're a stupid, empowering idiot to let animals in this country the way that they have been let in for the last 3 years. There is no telling. When you look, and we talked about this, Jeff, when you look at the percentage of where these individuals are coming from, these aren't poor migrants coming out of countries. These are military-aged men coming from China, Cuba, Korea, all kinds of bad places, Venezuela, San Salvador, all of that, emptying their prisons, sending them to America. And I'm telling you right now, you and I are going to pay the price.
Yep.
And I think it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. And you said 3 years. I think it's been going on longer than that. And here's the reason I'm going to make a proof on that one. When 9/11 happened, all those guys that got on those planes, they were all under a watch to begin with, but yet every single one of them got through.
Yeah.
All their names, every single one of their names were on a list, but never got to the TSA. Never. They were held up by our government saying, well, we don't know for sure, but it might be. Now we know for sure. But and 3,000 people had to die to know for sure.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
It's
ridiculous. If somebody's under scrutiny, we don't. Again, we go back to the Karens. Well, we don't want to make them feel bad. What if we're wrong? What if we're, you know what? I'd rather be packed down. All these people that come to these little border stops and stuff that say, well, I'm an American citizen, I don't have to answer your questions, this and that. The hell, just you live here? Yeah. Okay. Are you bringing anything across? No. I never had a problem. But these people that stop with the notes and all that stuff, well, my rights are this and that. So what? Stop. It takes you time. So you're going to waste a half hour to be an ass, but it could take you 2 seconds to say, no, yep, here's my license. I'm good. Here we go. I don't need to show you nothing. Those people are there to protect you, you dumbass.
Right.
They're there to protect you. Yep. And yet you don't want to be protected. Good. Then go to someplace else where you don't want to be protected. And again, it goes back. I'd rather live in a country that the government worries about my protection rather than not worried about my protection. Like
it's the main job. It's the main job is national security.
Jesus.
But I'm telling you right now, if you're on the border, and because our stupid laws have been manipulated, because I don't think they've been changed, but if our stupid laws have been manipulated enough to where all I've got to do is say that I'm scared back in my hometown, wherever I'm from, but I'm scared there, so I want to come in here.
Right.
And that gets you a free pass in. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
We're an idiot. And I'm going to tell you, and it's going to happen, and it's going to really set me off. The first person that comes up with, and I've heard a couple, immigration lawyers mostly, with, well, they're just following the law. They're just, no, they're not. They're manipulating it, and you know it. Yeah. They're manipulating, and you know it. You show me a picture of that 21-year-old and 26-year-old strapping young men, and they really came across the United States and got picked up and said, oh, we're really scared back home. I need you to let me in. That was bull crap.
Yep.
That was bull crap, and you know it. I get the fact that you want all these future voters, and I get the fact that you're going to figure out a way to get them amnesty, and I figured out you're going to figure out a way to get them to vote. I get it. I understand. You're going to do it. You're either going to do that or you're going to keep letting dead people vote or stuffing ballot boxes. And I'm talking to both sides, Jeff. I'm not talking to one side.
You're right.
I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
You're going to do all that. I know what you're up to, and I'm calling you out. And it's bull crap. And you're wrong, and you're putting us in jeopardy. And they didn't come across here and decide to be evil. They were evil. They came here to be evil.
Well, they came here evil already.
Evil already.
They figured they'd come here and they could do anything they want and get away with it. Because of their anger for where they were living. And that's the way those people live over that way. I can show you videos all day long of what goes on in Venezuela. I can show you videos. We talked about it before. With the guy just sitting there owed some people money and in a mall, in the middle of a mall, and 3 guys come in and put 700 rounds of bullets in his body right there in the mall and walk out with nothing. They don't know who it was. There's nobody touched him. No police done. That's the way. If that's the way you want to live, then move. If that's the way you want to live, and get out of here. But these people that are coming over here, like I said, and here's the other thing: the lawyer. You said you hit on something that's very, very important for this country. A lot of times, I don't even think our government runs our country. I think the lawyers do. Yeah. And here's the deal. Well, those guys got rights. What rights? I think you do something like that, your rights are gone. You don't get a lawyer. You get to go. Just like chutes and ladders. Yeah. Oh, it was slid all the way down the ladder. You're done. That's it. Right. What do you need a lawyer for? A defense attorney? For what? Defend them by what? Well, they didn't know what they were doing. They were psychotic. No, bull. Shoot them. And I'm sorry.
That's right.
You shoot. Yeah. Done.
See how fast we can have the death penalty.
If there's a 100% guarantee that they did it, and and they know that they did do it, or they confess to doing it, guess what? You get to go to the front of the line here in the chair in Texas. And we got away from that. We've gotten away from that.
They've got video evidence, and the guy's wearing an ankle monitor.
Yeah, so they know where he's at.
Tell you where he went.
Yeah, exactly. So you go to the front of the line. Boom. I don't care. Legal, illegal, it doesn't matter. Boom. You're at the front of the line. You're done. Wasted.
Yeah, I know.
Wasted. Done. I agree. It's funny how we save the bad people, but the good people have to pay. I
know. That's exactly right.
We're saving the bad guys. I don't get it. You know what we need back here? You know what we need back? The mafia. We need the mafia back. They'll keep it straight. They didn't shoot family.
They had a code, right?
They had a code. That's it. Hey, you don't do nothing without Guido over there saying so, and if that guy doesn't pay or that guy committed a crime, get rid of him. These people don't live with them. And back in the day, and I can talk, I joke about it a lot, but when I lived in the Northeast, geez, we knew everybody. It was just knew everybody, and I've gotten to meet a few of those guys, and they were believe it when I say this, they were the nicest guys in the world, the nicest guys in the world. And I told this story before, but what's his name? Started with a G. One of the last ones. They called him the Teflon Don in Philadelphia. He was in Philadelphia. It's anyway. Sammy the Bull Gravano was his bodyguard. And one time I was doing a comedy show, and a lot of folks back in that day knew I wrestled and stuff like that. So Sammy knew that I talked about it on stage. Well, Sammy came up to me, and WrestleMania was around the corner there in New York City, and he walked up to me. He says, "Hey, I need you to get me 2 tickets." Now, what do I tell Sammy Gravano? No. So I and I couldn't get them for free. We used to so I went and bought 2 tickets. It were $70 tickets, $140. Sammy came to the next show. Nicest guy in the world. I said, "Sammy, here you go." He goes, "Hey, you didn't have to buy these, did you?" I said, "No, don't worry about it. It's good. Now, come on, tell me, did you have to pay for these?" I said, "Listen, I couldn't get into the guys. I got them for you, but I appreciate you and what protecting, our community and stuff like that. He says, bro, you need anything, you got it. Jesus,
Right.
Now you met Jeff Parami. He was
Yep.
the comedian. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people don't know this. Jeff was tied in with the guys.
Okay.
He knew a lot of these guys. He'd make them laugh, and if you made these guys laugh, you were in. It didn't matter. But Jeff could tell you stories. We both could. I mean, I seen guys go in trunks. I seen guys get curved. I see the way it was. But nobody messed with it, and that was a time where everybody was happy. In the the 80s, the 70s, everybody was happy. They had their stuff. Even in the 60s, look at Las Vegas the way it was. It was great.
Oh, yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
Now look at it today. Well, this place is closing up. That place is a dump. No more money. I don't know. I don't get it. We're going backwards instead of forwards.
We are.
We're doing away with the people with the brains, and we're putting in stupid. And it's not. It's not. Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
I think it's a design. I think it's to dumb us down to where we cannot protect ourselves when it comes time for an invasion. We just roll over because we're so stupid.
You can't ever dumb common sense. You can never dumb it. And Ronald Reagan said it the best. Okay, your government. You should never let your government run you. You need to run your government.
There you go.
And if we're sitting back in the seats and not getting into the ring, opening up our mouths or saying anything, we're getting in big trouble. And there's less and less people opening up their mouths. But the people that are opening up their mouths and thinking, you're nuts, you're crazy. No, we're not. This is a common sense deal. This is the problems that we really have.
I do. I get it.
I'm not going to be able to retire. All the money and Social Security, everything I put away, that ridiculous, gone. Yeah. I don't have my own business. A lot of people that have their own businesses only are able to put a little bit away, and live just until, or they work 2 or 3 years before they pass away. And I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to have to work till I'm 75, 80 years old and say, well, I guess I got 3 months to go. I better go on a cruise and then I come back and hit the dirt. No, I don't want to be that guy.
I know.
And the way that everything is rolling, everything with how people are getting into our country, and it's like a civil war. The blacks have a civil war going on with themselves, with shootings and killings.
I know.
The white people are entitled to it's like, geez, man.
I think it's by design, Jeff. I think all this transgender stuff. That's out there. What percentage are we talking? 0.0005%, but yet it's in all the news. It's the talk of the town. It's in our legislators.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a handful of people. And then I thought it was hilarious when that drag queen got up and approached the Democratic Party when they were in the Texas Democratic Party at their convention. In El Paso. They got a drag queen up there making a prime time address.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's all to dumb us down. I think it's to distract us. Because if we're worried about transgender and we're worried about drag queens, then we're not worried about the real places where they're stealing from us. It's kind of like the Houston with that TERS, the Midtown TERS. Now they just found that they were stealing $8 million. And I got tickled. You know how they found out that they had absconded with $8 million? Because they were getting paid to mow some grass on some properties, and they weren't. And the community noticed, hey, the grass isn't getting mowed. So they started asking questions. This guy stole $8 million. And all he had to do was hire a kid to mow the damn lawn every once in a while, and nobody would have caught him. There are people stealing right under our eyes, but yet we're worried about drag queens, and we're worried about transvestites, and we're worried about giving young kids sex-altering drugs and sex-altering surgeries. It's all I think it's all just trying to just take our eye off the ball.
Smoke screen.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah. and exactly what you're saying about that. You can use another example with something that happened here in Texas with Uvalde.
Yeah.
When Uvalde went down, and all of a sudden, then the gun controllers started going off. How are we going to keep the schools safe for this and that, and blah 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 blah. And then what did our government do? Threw a monkey wrench in when all this was going on about voting and the government, and then all of a sudden, all the eyes were off of Uvalde and how to fix that issue. And it's
exactly right.
I know how it works. I worked in the newsroom. I worked at Fox up in Maine and radio. So if you were told to say a story, here's a good thing, and this is true. So do you ever watch the movie Good Morning Vietnam?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You remember when the teletype was coming up and they had two guys sitting there and they were crossing up the news?
Yeah.
This is the only news that he could read.
Right.
But the important news was the stuff that was crossed off, the ones that
redacted.
Rejected. Right. Yeah. What they say it was what? What?
Redacted.
Yeah, redacted.
Yeah. Blacked out. There's
stuff happening that people don't know, that people should be aware about, but yet we get the garbage news. What does I call it garbage news? We get the garbage news, the garbage disposal news, the stuff that is going to
sensational stuff.
Yeah, that's going to stir it up a little bit, but the truth stuff is all crossed out. And that's what the media will do. They're going to give you the stuff that's highlighted, and they're not going to give you the stuff that's blacked out.
No.
The most important stuff. Well, we can't say that. Do we know that for sure? Yeah. Well, we can't say it. And they'll cross it out. And they do that.
They do.
I know a couple of my friends that watch us on a Monday who are news guys over in Louisiana and over here in Texas. They're going to say, Jeff, shut the hell up. Shut up what you're saying. Just shut up. But it's true. It is true. And if you can't sit back and
stand by it.
Yeah, how it works. I mean, yeah, that's the way it works. And it works that way all the way through our government like that. They're only going to let you know what they want you to know. They are not transparent. No. They could tell you, well, we're transparent. We did this today and that today. Okay, well, what else?
They have a narrative. They're following their narrative. They're have us leaded by the nose. They're leading us by the nose. They're giving us just what we think we want.
Right.
And then it goes away. And then next day there's a whole new news cycle.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
I know. And I'm sorry I had to go off in the beginning the way that I did, but it entitled all of this. Everything that we're talking about, it's all the same.
It's all the same.
I want to work. I don't want to work. I want the government to take care of me. I don't want the government to take care of me. I want to live as a dog. I don't want to live as a dog. I want to be a girl. I don't want to be a girl. I want to be a boy.
I want my city to provide everything for me.
Yeah. And even if it's not,
you don't want to babysitting my kids.
That's right.
Because here's what I hear. When I hear somebody say there's nothing for kids to do in Bay City, do you know what I hear? I want somebody else to babysit my kids while I go off and do something.
And then complain about it.
And then complain about it.
And if we did do it, let's just say there's $1 million park that went in there. You're going to complain. Yeah, well, the slides are too slow, or they didn't put the right ones in, or the gravel's too hard, or the grass is too high, and there's too many.
And it's hot outside.
They didn't put a cover over it.
Building over it with air conditioning.
Right, and the pool's nice, but the water's too hot, or it's too cold, or I don't like the people, the lifeguards, the food's too expensive, and oh, shut up.
Yeah, I don't want to pay for the pool. I don't want to pay for the food.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
no,
they don't want to pay to get their lawnmowers fixed either. They want a charity. Let me tell you what, I have a great customer base. I really do. There's a lot of great people that come in here and trust what I do and know what I do and how I do it and how I work.
Yeah.
But you cannot come walking in here when you see 22 million lawnmowers and pieces laying around going, I need this done.
You do have 22 million lawnmowers sitting around.
Well, Jeff, you're not fast enough. Do you know how long it takes to change the rear out of one lawnmower? A day and a half. The 2 days. That's if all the parts are correct. And if they're not, then you got to sit there and you got to wait. You move on to the next one. And everything we got isn't a tune-up. It's a motor replacement, motor rebuilds, all this and that. We do all that stuff. How long do you wait for your car to get fixed? 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks? Well, what makes it different on a lawnmower? Because it's
I
smaller?
don't know.
I don't know. I don't get it. But anyway.
Entitlement. You had it.
Oh, yeah.
Entitlement.
It's
I'm
entitlement.
entitled.
That's right. I'm
Why? How
entitled.
come people in Bay City won't stop for a red light and they run it?
They don't. They
They're
do not.
entitled.
And then here you go. You're going to get somebody say, well, why can't the cops be out there more often driving up and down the roads and watching them at every single red light? Because every cop does, there's like 8 working, 9 working, 10 working at night. Yeah. We got 50 traffic lights in town. What are you kidding me? So you want to sit at every traffic light? What are you going to do? I never see them when they're speeding all the time. Of course. Why do you think those guys are speeding? Because they don't see the cops either. They're not there.
Right.
They're not there. Right. They're actually patrolling areas that need to be patrolled. They're not worried about that. Well, I seen it. Well, then get the damn license plate number, give it to them, and let the sheriff's department handle it outside of town or the state police or whatever.
I don't know.
It's just it's nobody knows how to do anything anymore. You got to hold their hand and take it. Oh, here's the water. If you push the button, the water comes out. You got to drink it, and this is how you drink. And then when you're done drinking, you got to wipe your lips off. And if it's too cold, then you can sue the company. Oh, Jesus.
I know. We're raising marshmallows, Jeff. We're raising marshmallows.
I told my daughter, I got a size 14 shoe, and that some gun will fit where the sun don't shine if you don't wise up and get moving. I'm telling you, that's just the way they. Well, that's really harsh, Jeff. That's the way we were raised. Okay.
I know.
Jeez. If you were born in the 50s, 30s, even 40s, 50s, 60s, before standing in the corner, yeah, we didn't stand in the corner. We had to chew on the corner, okay, because that's where we were thrown.
That's right.
You hungry? Chew the paint off the walls. You ain't eating today. Okay, whatever. That's just the way it is. Now let's get to this other thing here. We got a few minutes here. The other thing, the folks coming down to Bay City.
Yes.
Okay,
so Texas Water Development Board, we are bringing them, the staff, the Austin staff, we're bringing them down to Bay City to help our region, really. I've got folks coming from Brazoria County, Fort Bend County, Galveston County, Jackson County. But primarily, I care about our water, wastewater treatment facilities here. During the last November election on the amendments, we authorized out of the rainy day fund $1 billion to be spent on water, wastewater. And of that, 25% it is earmarked for rural. All 13 of the water, wastewater treatment facilities in our county are all, including the cities, are all classified as rural. So $250 million.
Hang on one second, Mitch.
Oh, yeah.
Hang on. I'm sorry. I'll let you go in a second because we had a comment over here. Mr. Mariner wants to know. He says, "Am I entitled to?" No, you're just an old grumpy man who needs to get the death webs out of your ears, okay, and do something, okay, do something.
Yeah, no entitlement.
Yeah, no entitlement. Don't comment. I don't want you commenting on the show no more. No, I'm kidding. Shut up, Mike. Let the man finish. Go ahead, Mitch.
Anyway. Well, we're bringing them to town. We also have our former Fort Bend County, our former state rep Cody Vasut is going to be our luncheon speaker. The seminar is from 9 to 2. That's going to be some really detailed stuff for water, wastewater. But if you're interested in coming and hearing Cody Vasut talk a little bit about the legislature, what I've asked him to talk about is allocating money. When we went into the session last time, we had $32 billion in the rainy day fund. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not the savings account for the state. That's my money, your money, Jeff's money sitting there in an account. I want my money back. And this is one way to do that is to get water, wastewater. They also have Texas Water Development Board's also in charge of flooding. And so we should be able to apply for that, although that's not what Thursday's meeting is all about. But I want you to know this is kind of groundbreaking. Before, you always went to Austin and talked up there. So you got to drive 3 hours up there to sit through a meeting, drive 3 hours home. We're bringing the staff here. We're going to have a lot of seminars, a lot of talks. Arthur and Sue Milberger's daughter is moving back, Whitney Milberger, and she's going to be offering her services. She used to work for the Texas Water Development Board. She's going to be offering her services as a consultant to make sure that we can grab as much of this money as we possibly can. I think if we do a really good job of spending this money, next session we could get another $1 billion. And so the response has been tremendous. I'll say this is one time when state government is coming to the people instead of the people going to state government, and I'm impressed. I'm also reached out just today to the General Land Office, our land commissioner, Dawn Buckingham, inviting her down. It's just I've got to fit it into her schedule. But we're trying to get our Austin folks down here to talk to us instead of us having to go to Austin. So if you're interested, give the chamber a call, 979-245-8333. If you just want to come to the lunch, that's fine. We'll have a lot of folks that just want to come listen to Cody Vasud, our state rep, our former state rep. And before you start scream, I invited Jeannie Morrison as well. She's tied up that day. The state, the Water Development Board picked this date. She's out of town. She's busy. So I asked her permission to contact Cody, and she said absolutely. So I'm meeting all the protocols before the haters start hating. But Cody will come in, talk to us a little bit. And looking forward to a good event where we can get some actual real money to help us taxpayers out.
Yeah, that'll be great. And I'm looking forward to seeing Cody and talking to him. What is he doing right now, Cody? What is he doing?
He's an attorney.
Right. I knew he was.
Out of Angleton. Well, I think he lives in Angleton.
Right.
His real job, because his state job pays all of $600 a month.
Right.
And he's got 3 kids and a wife.
Yeah.
He ain't living on $600 a month. That's $7,200 a year. He has to have a real job. He's an attorney with a law firm in South Houston, and so but he's a really good guy. He's just he's doing everything he said he was going to do when he ran for that office, and I'm proud to call him a friend.
Yeah. Let's talk about the last thing real quick.
Yeah.
What is it? No, wait, hang on. I got it right here.
Help me.
Surgeon General.
Oh, that's so I'll start it and then we can finish it up next week. So the Surgeon General has come out with putting a warning on social media for young people, kind of like what you see on a package of cigarettes saying, "Hey, this is gonna kill you."
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. I thought that was a joke. I thought that was more marshmallow stuff, more woke stuff, Jeff.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
it's yeah, Surgeon General. Yeah, he's gonna sit and watch everybody watch social media and stop every kid from watching everything bad.
And we're gonna put a warning on there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Jeff, I don't know. I'm telling you, when I read that, I thought, oh my gosh, what are we coming to? Yeah. And then I saw another statistic, and we can talk next week about this, but when you track, and there are folks that track and measure child depression and childhood mental illness.
Yeah. And
according to the experts, and I don't know if I believe it, maybe I do, that ever since social media was born, ever since we all got phones, we all got Facebook, we all got Instagram and TikTok, and I don't know what else.
Twitter
and X and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these scientists claim that they can tie teenage depression, the increases in teenage depression, to the growth of social media.
Yeah, they use algorithms.
If that's true,
mm-hmm.
that's a shame.
Yeah,
I don't know what to think about that. But a Surgeon General's warning on Facebook that says, and I guess I'll have to do it, reading this crap will make you sad and make you wonder why you live here. I don't know. I more woke crap, more marshmallows.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, look, people either love me or hate me, and those of it that love me know it, and those that hate me know it. And I know it. It's fine. And people say untruths, mean things about me all the time. And maybe I'm stupid, and I don't. But it doesn't bother me. I know I'm doing everything I can the right way. Now, do I make mistakes? Heck yeah. Just ask Carolyn; she'll tell you. She's got a list of all the mistakes
I seen that list, man. That's great.
Yeah, it's long. It's bad, but you know, I'm out here doing it for what I know is the right reason. I'm not padding my pockets. I'm not benefiting. My job here is to grow a community. And I know I've got folks that don't like me, and that's okay. They don't have to, but I also don't have to react. I really don't have to worry about them.
Right. So
I just think it's a choice. But if I got depressed when people talked bad about me, I might be in a mental institution. But I don't know. It just stuck me, Jeff. It just stuck me crazy that we're going to put a warning sign on social media because it's dangerous. I remember Haskell Simons, bless his heart, the late Haskell Simons, looked at me one time years ago at a First Friday and said, Mitch, you got to do something to stop this Facebook. And I said, Haskell, I'm afraid it's a little bigger than me, and I don't know that there's anything we can do about it.
Nope.
But even he didn't even know what it was, and he saw it was evil.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I just thought that was funny, Jeff.
It is funny.
Surgeon General's warning.
It's funny because the Surgeon General warnings on albums as well, and record labels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you got record labels, these rap records and stuff that are out. There's a warning.
Okay.
They're required if they do the F-bomb or whatever they're talking about things. They have to put a warning label on the record. It's a black label that says uncensored material, blah 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 blah.
Okay, all right.
They got to put it on there on like you say, on cigarettes and things like that. What they need to put labels on their heads so we know who to talk to and who not to talk to.
I'm woke.
Yeah, I'm woke. Yeah, that's right. I'm woke. And you hit the nail on the head when you said, I'm at the point. It used to bother me if I was working hard to try to keep the community safe.
Yeah.
Which I still continue to do, and I don't get a dime for it.
Yeah.
I don't get a dime for the money we do. We don't get paid to do this show.
Yeah.
I don't get paid. Andy and I don't get paid to sit up 24 hours a day when there's a hurricane coming and let people know what's going on.
Right.
We don't get paid for that. The people at National Weather Service do.
Yeah.
But we don't. And the National Weather Service will come on for 2 minutes late. There's a storm coming, or it's going this way, that way. Here you go. That's it. TV guys, they get paid to do what they do, and everybody says, we don't believe a word they say, and this and that. And all of a sudden the storm comes, and that's it. Boom. Real quick example, the last storm that came through here, we did not get as much rain as expected because the way things were shifting and that. And no, I don't care. Only God knows when this stuff's going to hit or not hit. No computer model in the world is going to be 100% right. No. They get close, but they're not 100% right. Even during a hurricane, not 100%. Yeah. Look at Katrina. Oh, it ain't going to be much. It ain't going to be much. 10 hours before it hit land. Oh, my God, run for the hills and explode. They didn't know that. So nobody knew that. Right. So when we put out the information that we put out, we do it because of the safety of the people, not because we're 100% accurate. We'll let you know that something in the vicinity of here to here is going to happen. And you get these people that hate you. I guarantee you, I've been here a shorter period of time than you, and I got more people hating me than you, brother. I guarantee you. I guarantee, especially the past year, the way that I feel anymore.
Oh, man.
Wow. And I just toss them in and out. They just come in. Hey, get you done it right. Get out. Out. I'll help you to your car. Get out. and I never was like that. And my family says I'm getting nicer to them, but more nastier to the people I need to be. And that's what telling me that. I'm sort of like I'm turning into a Mike Mariner. I swear to you, I'm turning into.
No, you went there.
I'm turning into a Mike Mariner, and I said it would never happen. But yes, I'm an old, grumpy, disgruntled. You call me anything you want. I don't care. But I know that I will continue to do what I do because there are people out there that appreciate what we do.
Right.
And there are people out there that care about us. And there's people out there that get talked about all the time. And you know, I may have a guy come up to me and say, hey, such and such the big bonehead, this and that, blah, 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 blah. Well, maybe to you, but he's really nice to me. I don't. Yeah. What do you want me to do? Jump on your bandwagon just because you don't like him? No, I'm not going to do it. And it's the same way with our government. Yeah. I don't have to believe a word they say. And if I don't, and it continues to be the way that it is and just getting worse and worse, that's going to open up my mouth and say something. And I think a lot more people need to open up their mouth and say, hey, this is what we pay you to do. And that's to protect us and to make sure that every American is taken care of that can take care of themselves. And not do handouts for people. This handing out stuff is ridiculous. You go on Facebook right now, you see those Facebook pages, right? You know the government has $55,000 of your money. You can get it tomorrow just by signing up here and going here.
Oh, no.
You know how many people fall for that crap?
Oh.
It's crap.
Too many.
Yeah. They got $55,000 for one person. That's the guy that's in office. That's it. That's the money they got for it, not for you. So I'm hoping, and I'm going to let the benefit of the doubt that all this someday will turn. It's never going to be the 50s again. It's never going to be the 60s again. It's never going to be the 70s. Technology has made us greedy, soft, a turn for believing everything that pops up. And I said it before, and I'll say it again. I will never put on something or talk about something that I am not 100% sure about. I am not going to do it. Unless I see it come from 56,000 sources, you know, I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
But you know what I talked about today is my opinion.
Yeah, mine too.
It's not a fact. That's an opinion of how I feel that this county is one of the most beautiful counties in Texas and has the potential to be the best county in Texas. And it's only going to get that way with the people that are in that county. It's the only way it's going to be. And if you get more people that care that don't, it's going to be a great county. But if you come here not to care and you want someone else to take care of you, you want someone else to wipe your butt for you, you need to go someplace else, man. You know, there's a lot of people that love to come here, and we're missing out. We're missing out. Our county and our towns are missing out. And the people that are trying to do something about it are the ones that are getting ridiculed for it. And I don't think it's fair. It's fair. You know, the CDC guys, the people in the council and stuff, you know, maybe they don't understand 100%, you know, but down the line, you know, it's things that have to change, you know, and things have to change. So anyway, that's what I'm going to say to do. Mike, by the way, go to bed. You're old.
It is past his bedtime.
Yeah, way past his bedtime. You got to take your non-grumpy Geritol pills, go to bed, pull up the covers, freeze yourself, do whatever you want to do. But anyway, Mitch on location in Washington, D.C. At the extension of the White House. That's where he's at tonight.
All right. Yeah, Joe, I'll be there in a minute. Calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Is that Joe? Joe. That's Joe?
That's Joe over there.
Do me a favor. Go get an ice cream and then tell us what kind it is. Go get it. On behalf of myself, Jeff Michaels, and Mitch Staves, thanks for watching Inside Texas, y'all, and we'll see you next week.
Enjoy.